Today I'm going to be talking about how strategic thinking is actually determined to a large extent by emotional intelligence. I'm going to take the help of the model created by the Israeli psychologist Baron, and who created this model called the EQI 2.0. Now, EQI 2.0 by far is one of the latest and the most comprehensive model or a concept that describes emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is, in effect, made by so many contributing factors. Maybe it's contributory attributes of an individual. And I'm going to pick up 5 critical attributes of emotional intelligence that critically link themselves to strategic thinking. Those 5 factors or attributes are: number 1, stress tolerance; number 2, impulse control; number 3 is problem solving; number 4, reality testing; and number 5 is flexibility. Given these 5 factors, I'm going to be taking you through each one of them with clear-cut examples from the workplace. Maybe a couple of examples in each of these attributes as to how these critical attributes are playing a major role towards enhancing a person's strategic thinking. Let's go for it now. Let me now talk about the relevance of stress tolerance ability in enhancing strategic thinking. Ever notice how the best leaders stay calm even in high pressure situations? That is stress tolerance at work. One of the most important critical skills for strategic thinking. Without it, leaders make rushed decisions, react emotionally, or fail to see long term solutions. With stress tolerance, they stay clear headed, make better choices, and guide their teams effectively. Let me give an example in crisis management situation. Let's take Maya, a senior manager. Her team just lost $1 million client. Everyone is more well. Some suggest slashing budgets immediately, and others are blaming each other. A leader without stress tolerance might react impulsively, firing people or making rash cost cuts. But Maya takes a deep breath. Instead of reacting, she says, "What's the real challenge here?" She regroups her team, analyzes why the client left, and within a week, she finds a new opportunity, pivoting the strategy to attract an even bigger deal. Because she managed her stress, she could think strategically instead of emotionally. I'll give you another example. This is about navigating uncertainty. Now, meet Naresh, the CEO of a tech startup. He is about to pitch investors when he hears that a core feature in the product isn't working. A clear, stressful situation, right? A stressed out leader might panic, cancel the pitch, or try to cover up the issue. But Naresh doesn't let the stress take over. He quickly reassesses what is still working, how can they shift focus. Instead of scrapping the pitch or the product, he presents a revised plan, showing how they are adaptable. The investors appreciate his resilience and they still secure funding. Naresh's ability to handle stress helped him make a strategic decision in the moment. Stress tolerance isn't just about staying calm, it's about thinking clearly under pressure, making rational decisions, and leading with confidence. So, the next time you are in a high stakes situation, ask yourself, am I reacting emotionally or am I thinking strategically? The best leaders master the stress, and that's what sets them apart. Now, let me take you through how impulse control, a key attribute of emotional intelligence, will impact strategic thinking. Have you ever seen a leader make a hasty decision and later regret it? Or maybe you have witnessed a leader who took a moment, assessed the situation, and made a calculated move that changed everything for the better? That's the power of impulse control in leadership. Impulse control is the ability to pause before reacting, allowing leaders to evaluate options, foresee consequences, and make sound decisions. Today, I will show you why the skill is crucial for strategic leadership and strategic thinking using 2 real world examples. Number 1, meet Ashok, a department head who just received news that the company's budget is being cut. Frustrated, he immediately considers slashing key projects to meet the new constraints. His first impulse: cut the newest initiative despite its long term potential. But instead of acting on impulse, he pauses. He consults his team, analyzes the data, and reevaluates priorities. Because he exercised impulse control, Ashok discovers an alternative, redistributing existing resources while keeping the initiative alive.
His strategic patience not only saves jobs but ensures future growth. Example number two. Meet Jagan, a sales director about to meet with a high value client who's dissatisfied with their current contract. The client is frustrated and tensions are high. His first instinct, immediately offer a discount to appease the client and close the deal. But instead of rushing, he pauses. He listens carefully to the client's concerns, asks clarifying questions, and gathers more insights. By practicing impulse control, Jagan realizes that the issue isn't the pricing, it's a lack of customization in the service package. Instead of an unnecessary discount, he proposed tailored solutions that better meet the client's needs. The result? A stronger business relationship, a better deal for the company, and a win win outcome. All because Jagan took the time to think before reacting. Strategic leadership isn't about reacting quickly, it's about responding wisely. It's making financial decisions or managing people. Impulse control separates reactive leaders from visionary ones. Let's now look at strategic thinking and emotional problem solving in leadership. Great leaders don't just solve problems, they navigate emotions while doing it. Strategic thinking isn't just about logic, it's about understanding the emotions driving decisions, conflicts, and change. Today, let me talk to you as to why emotional problem solving is critical for strategic thinking. I will tell you this with two real world workplace examples. Number one, meet Rakesh, a senior manager in a fast paced marketing agency. His team is delivering great results, but he notices a shift: lower engagement, more mistakes, and increasing sick leaves. Productivity is dropping, and so is morale. Rakesh could push harder for deadlines, assuming people just need to work through it. But as a strategic leader, he digs deeper. Instead of reacting, he conducts one on one check ins. He realizes his team is burned out, feeling overwhelmed by non stop deadlines and lack of work life balance. So he proposes a strategic solution: redistributing workloads, implementing meeting Fridays, and encouraging mental health breaks. He also communicates with senior leadership, showing how slight process adjustments can prevent burnout without sacrificing results. The outcome: productivity bounces back, employee satisfaction improves, and retention stabilizes. And the lesson here is strategic thinking isn't just about efficiency, it's about recognizing when emotions like exhaustion impact long term success. Example 2. Let's talk about Aman, a department head at a tech company. The leadership team announces a major shift. AI automation will replace some traditional roles. Employees panic, resistance builds. Aman knows that logical explanations alone won't help. He needs to acknowledge the emotions: fear of job loss, uncertainty about the future. Instead of just announcing change is coming, Aman holds small group discussions. He listens to concerns, validates them, and then presents opportunities: new skill training, internal mobility, and how AI will create new roles. Because Aman approaches the problem strategically, balancing facts with emotional intelligence, employees shift from resistance to engagement. Strategic leaders anticipate emotional roadblocks and address them before they become obstacles. Leadership isn't just about making smart decisions, it's about managing emotions to drive better outcomes. The best leaders don't avoid emotions, they understand and navigate them strategically. You want to be a smart leader in strategic thinking? Start by mastering emotional intelligence. Let's now see how another important attribute of emotional intelligence, which is reality testing, is critical to strategic thinking. Have you ever seen a leader or leaders make decisions that sound great on paper but fall apart in reality? That's because they didn't check their assumptions. Today, we are talking about reality testing, a crucial emotional intelligence skill that makes or breaks strategic thinking. Now, what is this reality testing? Reality testing is the ability to see things as they really are, not as what we want them to be. It helps leaders stay grounded, avoids wishful thinking, and make decisions based on facts and not assumptions. Let me give an example. Meet Santosh, the CEO of a fast growing tech startup. He's eager to expand internationally. The numbers look great, but his VP of operations, Jacob, suggests doing a reality check. Jacob raises concerns in a meeting. He asks, have we considered the local regulations, hiring challenges, and cultural differences? Instead of pushing ahead blindly, Santosh tests his assumptions. His team uncovers hidden costs and delays. By adjusting the strategy, he avoids a costly failure. That's reality testing in action. Example number 2. Meet Alex, a project manager under pressure to meet tight deadlines. He believes his team can handle it. After all, they always do. But is that the reality or just wishful thinking? An employee asks, Alex, we are stretched too thin. If we keep pushing, quality will suffer. Instead of assuming, Alex listens. He realizes the team is near burnout. He adjusts the timeline slightly, keeping productivity and morale intact. A simple reality check prevented a major issue. Reality testing is equal to smarter leadership. So, leaders, before you make your next big decision, ask yourself, am I saying this clearly? Test your assumptions, challenge your thinking, and make reality your best advisor. That's how you lead with strategy and wisdom.
Let's now take the fifth contributory attribute, which is flexibility. Imagine you have spent months planning a strategy and suddenly everything changes. What do? Let's dive into why flexibility is a game changer in strategic thinking for leaders. Let's explore how being adaptable can help leaders navigate uncertainty and drive success. Strategic thinking is all about robust and detailed planning for the future. But here is the catch. No matter how perfect your plan is, things will change. Markets shift, technology evolves, and customer demands fluctuate. That's why the best leaders aren't just planners, they are adapters. Flexibility in strategic thinking means staying open to new ideas, adjusting to challenges, and making decisions that keep you on track even when the path changes. Let's now take an example. Meet Roshni, a CEO of a retail company. Her team spent a year developing a brick and mortar expansion strategy. But just before launch, online shopping trends skyrocketed and foot traffic declined. Instead of sticking to the plan blindly, Roshni embraced flexibility. She redirected investments into e-commerce, optimized digital marketing, and partnered with online marketplaces. The result? A company did not just survive, it thrived in the new landscape. That's strategic flexibility in action. Let's take another example. Now, consider Harish, a project manager leading a tech development team. Halfway through a critical project, a key team member resigns. Harish knows that forcing the original timeline without adjustments could lead to burnout and failure. Instead, he reassesses priorities, redistributes tasks, and brings in a temporary consultant. By staying flexible, he keeps the team motivated. He ensures quality and still meets the project goals. That's how adaptable leaders turn setbacks into success. So, what can we learn from Roshni and Harish? 1. Be open to new strategies when conditions change. 2. Reassess priorities when challenges arise. 3. Adjust quickly without compromising on long-term goals. Strategic thinking isn't about rigidly sticking to a plan. It's about navigating change with confidence. The best leaders don't fear change. They use it to their advantage. You want to become a more strategic leader? Start embracing flexibility today.
So, we have spoken about 5 critical emotional intelligence attributes that are clearly linked to strategic thinking. What are those 5 factors? Stress tolerance, impulse control, problem solving, reality testing, and flexibility. Now, each one of them is clearly setting examples of how a leader can be successful or not in terms of delivering his capability of strategic thinking. Let me tell you one thing. Strategic thinking will have to take into account the emotions of people. In other words, emotions are data. Whether you take impulse control, there is an emotion. Stress tolerance, definitely. Problem solving when emotions are involved, it's there for you to know and understand. Reality testing is about gut feel versus intuitional thinking or data-based analysis. There again, emotions are involved. Flexibility is all about openness to consider diverse set of opinions, openness to understand and take and consider you, not be swayed by your own intuitions or biases, stereotypical thinking or whatever. Now all this involves emotions. No, I'll go with what my gut says, what I know and what I feel about things. So in all these things, the thread of emotions runs very, very clearly. It's about how we deal with emotions in each of these circumstances. Emotional intelligence, after all, is nothing but dealing with emotions in a constructive manner. Not only our own emotions, but it's also about how we deal with the emotions of those others around us. It could be your friends, family, workplace colleagues, or anybody, any other stakeholders for that matter. We need to understand that strategic thinking is not only about long-term thinking, it's about how we deal with our emotions. It's about how we put our thoughts into action without getting swayed, but dealing with our emotions. That's a very important aspect which I would like to highlight as a conclusive aspect of this particular talk on emotional intelligence and strategic thinking.